This is the very beginning of my interview, and I think it was one of my weakest parts with this client. I don't like reading off of a sheet like confidentiality and mandated reporting, but I think I need to say it enough that it rolls off my tongue a little better and it's a little bit clearer. I didn't feel like it was incredibly strong, and I feel like potentially wasn't as detailed as I had thought of later and what might be necessary for a client. So I need to figure that out without having to read it off of a sheet because that's not the kind of introduction I like. So this was one of my weaker points in the presentation. Hi, Tracy. I'm Carly Wells, and I'm going to be your advocate at the Center for Nonviolent Living. And I just wanted to make you aware of, before we begin, the informed consent and confidentiality and mandated reporting, which means everything that's said here today is confidential. I'm not going to tell anybody. No one's going to know unless you say something about wanting to seriously hurt yourself or somebody close to you, or if you tell me that there's any child abuse going on that you're aware of. Does that make sense?
Yes. So if I'm going to hurt myself or somebody else or a child is in danger.
Yeah, that's when I would have to tell the authorities. But other than those instances, nothing's going to leave. So in this clip, I feel like I was strong in being able to reinforce what needs to be done and what the client has said they want to do, as well as contextualizing what is happening in the situation and really being able to encourage the client in their motivation and help them push forward into doing the next thing in a row and being able to kind of be the voice of reason in some ways, of helping that client see their own strength. I mean, but what if you saw this is just part of the fresh slate, the fresh beginning of it all? Of it's jail time, but it's also cleaning that slate so you don't feel like you have something looming over you, something that's always nipping at your heels and waiting for you. Right. And then you can start that FAFSA form and going to school with that clean slate because you have the motivation, you have the desire for change and for something different and to leave everything behind. Yeah. In this clip, I think I was strong in being able to really reinforce the accompaniment aspect of being a social worker in discussing the plan of doing it together and still empowering the client to do it themselves and do what they need to do, but really being able to be a backbone and help walk them through this and not just be like you're on your own, you have to do this alone, but really being a backbone before the jail time and after the jail time in this specific instance, so they could go in with somebody and come out to somebody and really safeguarding them from feeling so alone in that. That would be, but so I'll go with you, and then when you're done, we can work on your FAFSA form. There's something called a Pell Grant. There's multiple different resources for going to school, and so I don't want to see that taken from you because of something like 2 days of jail time. That is not the most ideal thing, but I'll go with you. And then when you come out, it's done. Yeah. It's done.
Really, what's 48 hours?
Right. For the rest of your life. Yeah. It's 48 hours towards the rest of your life. For your freedom, for your independence, for your education, for your children.
Yeah. And I guess it'll give me time to think about really what more I need to do along the way. Because the first step will be that, doing my 2 days. So then, can I see you after that?
Of course. Okay. Yep. You can come see me as soon as that's over, and then we'll talk about the next step. We'll talk about getting FAFSA paperwork done and submitted and see if we can get that in the process so you can get into spring semester, because we've already passed fall semester.
Right.
And so get you into spring semester. So yeah, do your 2 days, and then come in and meet with me, and we'll do the next step, because it's like those manageable goals. So if you can get this chunk done, You don't have to think about the whole
Right.
end goal right now. You think about these 2 days, and then we'll think about the next step, and then the next step, and we'll piece them together so you don't feel like your whole life is just in chaos and upside down.
That's exactly.
So this was what I felt like was one of my other weaker points, and I felt like I started to get too life coachy, that I did more talking than the client did. And yes, I was trying to establish logistics and activities and reinforcement and activity, and accompaniment, but I just feel like I could have done more mirroring for sure and really let the client do more of the talking than I did. And a lot of the parts I took out of this video, she did, but I kind of felt like I was reiterating the same thing. And I don't know if that's a strength or a weakness, but I kind of felt like I was doing a lot more talking than she was. Available for you, and you're going to have to work hard for it, but you can do that, and you have the skills, and you have the intelligence, and you have the drive to do that.
So I just need you for the knowledge of really what's there.
Totally.
And the help to do it.
Yeah, and I get it. I get sometimes you just need to like bite chunks off at a time to deal with life. And this is the first chunk, and then we'll come back and we'll do the next chunk, and then the next chunk. And you don't have to do this alone and feel like it's all just up everywhere trying to spiral around